In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to subtract signed numbers. Really, there are only 5 types of subtraction problems. You have 9 minus 5, a big number minus a little one, and we know how to do that already, so I'm not going to concentrate on that. Then you might have negative 9 minus 5. You might have 9 minus negative 5. You might have negative 9 minus negative 5, or the 5th type, reverse the original 2 numbers, 5 minus 9. All subtraction problems that you'll ever see will be one of these 5 types. So in order to understand subtraction of signed numbers, you can memorize some rules. But I always think it's best to understand the concepts. So we're going to work on it that way. I will use money as an example. A negative means you spent money or you owe money, whichever way makes sense to you at the problem. Negative 9, I owe $9. Negative 5, I spent $5. Or negative 9, I spent $9 at one store. Negative 5, I spent $5 more at another store. Can you see that you need to add 9 and 5 together to see how much money you spent? Now that's money you spent, so you have to put a negative sign on it. Negative 9 minus 5 is negative 14. Both of those were expenditures. They're the same kind of money. The money's going the wrong direction out of your pocket. $9 went south, $5 more go south. You've spent $14. Now let's concentrate on the last one, and then we'll look at the 2 in the middle. They're special. The last one, we have 5 minus 9. That says you've got $5. That's a positive 5. That's your money. And the negative sign says you spent $9. Now you can do this with a checking account. You've got $5 in your bank account and you write a check for $9. You spend $9. Your bank is not going to be happy because now you owe them $4 because you spent $4 more than you had. Actually, you're going to owe them $24 because they're going to charge you for writing a check that you did not have sufficient funds for. So 5 minus 9, that's negative 4. You do the subtraction, grade school style. You have 9 and subtract 5 from it to figure out how much you overdrew your bank account. You overdrew by $4, but the answer is negative 4 because you owe the bank $4 more. Now, the 2 in the middle are special. These 2 have what we call a double negative. You have 9 minus negative 5, or you have negative 9 minus negative 5. The way you do a double negative when you subtract is you change the double negative to an addition. A double negative equals addition, a plus. I will demonstrate why in just a minute. Replace the 2 negative signs with a single plus sign and rewrite the problem. You have 9 plus 5. That's easy. You have negative 9 plus 5. If you watched the video on adding signed numbers, then you already know how to do this. You should watch that video first. But reviewing, this says you owe $9. The plus 5 says you earned $5, so you can pay off some of your debt. If you owe me $9, and I say pay up, and you open your wallet and find a $5 bill, you can pay me the $5, and I'm still going to have my hand out for $4 more because you still owe me $4. All the subtraction problems in the world are one of these 5 types. The numbers may be bigger, but if you have a big number and you subtract a little one, you know how to do that. If you have a negative number and you subtract another number, then you're going to have to add those because you're subtracting money and you're subtracting more money. You've got to figure out the total amount of money you're subtracting or spending. If you've got a double negative, you change it to a plus. Now watch. A double negative is a minus a parenthesis, and another minus with two signs on the same number. This is not a double negative. Negative 9 minus 5 is not what we call a double negative. A double negative is when you have two negative signs separated by the parentheses like this. Replace that with a positive. Rewrite the problem. Same thing here. And in this problem, you have subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number. You subtract them, big number minus little one, grade school style, and make sure you remember the answer is negative because you're taking more away than what you've got. Let's look now at why I said a double negative is a positive. What we're going to do is look at a number line. On a number line, you have 0. On this side, we're going to look at positive 4. That's 4 jumps to the right of 0. And understand what a negative sign is. A negative sign is an opposite. It really is. Look at it on the number line. Negative means the opposite of the number you have. There's 4. You know where that is. The negative 4 is on the opposite side of 0. And you know that too. So let's start with what you know. 4 here. You put a single negative on it. You go to the opposite side of 0. Now let's take that negative 4 over there and put another negative on it. What happens? You jump back to the opposite side and you're back over here. This 4, this positive 4, is a negative of this negative 4, or the opposite of this negative 4. The double negative gives you back to the positive. Follow it through again. Here's positive 4. Put a negative sign on it, you jump across the creek. There's the negative 4 over there. Put another negative sign on it. You jump back across the creek. Here you are where you began. It's just like jumping across a creek. You can put another negative on it if you want to. You've got a negative here, a negative here. Put another negative on that double negative. What happens? The double negative with another negative jumps back across the creek. You could have a triple negative. You don't see that much, but you could have it. So you have an odd number of negatives gives you a negative answer, and an even number of negatives is a positive answer. The one you want to remember is this one. Negative 4 is positive 4.